Good afternoon. Today on Customer States What, we have a 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee fresh on trade with over 130,000 miles. Is it good? I'll tell you right now, no it's not. So I couldn't road test the vehicle because the customer or the previous owner has informed us that the vehicle did overheat. So I drove the car into the shop and you know what? Not for nothing, it's making some noise. It's making some noise. That water pump right there, that's a whole lot of goo guts. Now, let's go a little further into the vehicle. Let's take a look at this aftermarket intake that I could just lift the freak out. Oh, would you look at that? It looks like it's the perfect shape of, yes it is. It was definitely rubbing into that belt. I wonder what Goombah did this repair, or this aftermarket accessory. So you know what, guys? Let's look a little further into the vehicle. Let's look at this brake fluid. Our man Shrek, yeah, looks like he got punched in the freaking kidney all over again. We got some bird seed here. We might have a bird living in the car somewhere. A little tweet, tweet, tweet. Alright, no leaks here, but we definitely have a coolant leak right there. Let's take it up top. So now that we took it up top, we're gonna look around and yeah, the freaking camera just got dripped on. I just got freaking dripped on. Great. Coolant leaking? You betcha. Self-lubricating chassis system? Oh my god, it's at its finest. But you know what? I think this leak just started to happen because, yeah, everything's covered in oil, but these here control arms are rusty. So I think that oil leak is fairly new. I think it happened when the customer overheated it. Let's go a little further back. Oh, look like we got a tranny pan leak. We got a tranny leak, guys. Or we got some gender neutral shifting juice that is leaking out of this pan that somebody looked like they resealed it with the improper stuff and it's still leaking. We also got an ATM shaft right there, all bumpy and full of flavor. You don't want that flavor. So let's go a little further back into the car. The best thing on this car are the tires. It does have air suspension. It is working and it's not leaking yet. It's not that bad, guys, but yeah, they want me to replace that water pump to see if this engine is still good. And yeah, that pulley is making a lot of noise, but I think there's a lower end knock too. So I don't think this car is good enough. So now that we're further into the repair, we got the thermostat assembly out, we got the upper radiator hose out, we got the drive belt out, we got most of all the mounting hardware to the water pump, and let's get a little jingle jangle out of this. Look at that movement. Look at all that goo guts movement right there. That ain't good. So let's go a little further into the repair. Alright, now that we got all the mounting hardware out, let's see if this will break free or not. I think it feels like there's another bolt in there somewhere. And I think I see it. Yep. Oh, and it's a long one too, giggity. Look at that guy. Looks important. Let's try it now. Let's give it a little wiggle pry. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it's gushing. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, it was going into the housing. Look at that. That impeller was going into the housing. Beautiful. So not only was the impeller driving itself into itself, it was also scoring the block a little bit. Whatever, I'll replace it. We'll see how it goes after it's all said and done. So we have the whole surface prepped and cleaned now. My question is, why in the hell would you have 3 freaking different size bolts to hold this water pump in? We got some extra long, giggity, ugly ones. We got some medium length ones. And we got some shorties. Whatever. So here's a tip, guys. I had to clean all the putty or whatever was used on this temperature sensor. Cleaned it off on the wire wheel. And what we'll do is put a little bit of Teflon tape here. Now, make sure you put it in the proper direction, because if you put it in the opposite direction of how I just went, when you go to install it, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's just going to unravel it. So that's the tip, guys. Make sure you always put the Teflon tape on in the proper way. It's in a clockwise motion. Put the sensor in. And you'll feel it, guys. This is all tightening by feeling. There you go. It should be good. Or we'll know once we fill it up with coolant and pressurize it. And if it pisses out, we'll know if it's good or not. Now we have the water pump in. All the bolts found the proper holes. Giggity. Now we're going to install the thermostat, upper radiator hose, and everything else. Let's finish this.
You're not supposed to stick anything in it when the hole's bleeding.
So here's another tip, guys. This little bleeder right here, always put it on the top, so if there is any air in the system, it'll go to the top of the system. At least that's what I was told, so I've always put it at the top. I don't know, let me know in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but this little guy goes on top. Alright guys, real quick, even with an aftermarket intake, if you freaking install it properly, this little breather hose, it won't freaking go into the belt. You see that? I got almost 2 inches of room right there. Yeah, that might be a giggity, but yeah, it's not gonna freaking rub into the belt. I don't have to put a zip tie there. You know what? I'll put one anyway just to secure it even more safe, but yeah, don't be a goomba. Install it properly. So now that we got it running, it sounds a whole lot better without that water pump about to explode. Now, I'm not a I'm not a Jeep guy at all. Does that sound normal to you guys? Listen, I don't know if you can hear it. It might be normal. It's more coming from down below than up top. Like it's not the high pressure injectors, and I'm not getting it from this side from the cat, but I'm getting it definitely from the driver's side. And this oil leak, this pisser right here, I figured it out. It's the oil pan. You can see right where it's all wet and then it's dry above it. So it looks like our oil pan is a pissing. Alright, well, this thing might need an engine. I'm going to get it to normal operating temperature. Until next time, guys, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for further content.